we can see stadiums empty. That's very sad. I've read in somewhere that to play football without people in the stands is like dancing without music, and I think it's a good comparison. And I think that fortunately with television, people are able to watch football. It's a passion everywhere in the world, as you know, but in Spain, maybe like in Argentina, we live it every day in the cafes, everywhere you go. People are talking about the last season, the last matches. Then I think government didn't do things in the right way. It was difficult, of course, unexpected, and very, very impressive what happened here. And we perhaps took the measure we had to be taken. We took them very late, and that's been a real trouble for everyone. And in many ways, football has been, of course, affected. You know, perhaps not many people know that we are not a company. We are a non-profit association. That means that we don't have capital, we don't have shareholders. So we have to rely on our own system of organizing the company, our own economy. About, I would say, 150, 160 million euros have been lost because of not having people in the stadium. So that's a lot of money, because we don't make money. We don't get profits. We invest everything we get in new players and organizing the club in the right way and paying salaries. So for sure, we've been very, very much affected. I think that many of the players have accepted reviews in their salaries. That's a relief. But anyway, we've been affected. Let's hope it is going to be finished soon. If not, we are going to be in trouble, not in football, but in our lives. Take into account the results. I think the rate is high, no doubt. He's got, it's true, only 2 La Liga titles, but 4 Champions League. That's very, very difficult. I think he made a big mistake with Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe because he was my signing, and one of the defects he's got, not many, but that's one of them, is that he doesn't accept very well the inheritance he receives. And in that case, he was always complaining about this player. The relationship between them wasn't the right one. And finally, he decided to sell the player. We've seen now in Juventus playing well. He's still one of the top players of the world. He can be playing for 3 or 4 more years for sure at the top level. So that's a problem. And another one, and we are going to suffer it, is to rebuild our stadium, spending an amount that will be close to 1 billion euros. So that's going to be a handicap to sign more players or good players. That's why maybe I think it's the only club that in this season didn't make any signings. So we are going to suffer for sure. But according to titles, I think that he did a good job. Now he did things in the very right way. I don't see many coaches in the next 100 years are going to be able to get 3 Champions League in a row. For sure, very, very difficult. But it's true that the relationship with the president is a problem. When he left, it's because he said, I want to bail out and Cristiano in. And the president did completely the opposite. He said, well, Bale will stay because it's my signing. Cristiano is not my signing. I would like to sell him. So Zidane said this is going to be the problem, and he left. But I think he deserves to be there at least to see if he's able to go in the same way as he's done up to now. for sure will be running for all the titles. We've seen it's difficult. We've seen that they're having problems. There are young players that are difficult to be in a club like Real Madrid. It's very demanding, difficult for those players to adapt to a system, to a club where you have to win every day. It's an obligation. It's not something that is special, or you don't have to be very happy, because it's an obligation to win. And many players are not fit for that. I don't know. We've seen very disappointing results in the Champions League against Shakhtar, losing 0-3 at the halftime. Hadn't happened before. And then in La Liga we lost 4-1 against Valencia. Now 1-1 against Villarreal. The big point, and it's a pity to say that, is Barcelona is not better. They are suffering too, and maybe that's it seems a bit sad to say that, but when one of them is in the bad moment, the other one doesn't suffer too much, or at least fans are not so upset, because they say that if they say the people on the other side doing bad, maybe, well, as I said, the suffer is not as much as it should be. Difficult times for Barcelona. They are going to change the president in the next months, so it depends on who is coming. Maybe they are talking about Guardiola coming back, or Xavi. Well, we don't know really. We have to wait until the new president is there. But for them, it's really trouble what's happening with Messi. He was half of the team. We've seen him playing in a way that many times he was the only one to win a match and to win titles. Now, if you see him playing, it seems he's not really focused on the matches. He loses many balls, wasn't normal before. The passes are not the right ones. He's not scoring as he used to. So difficult times ahead. But it's a big club with big players yet, a big academy. So I'm sure they will be also at the top of the competitions. You need to accept when a player doesn't want to be on your team. You have to say, okay, let's find a solution, the best one for both parties. Let's get as much money as we can and be happy where you go. You've given a lot to Barcelona. We are very happy with you, and you deserve to decide your future. I did that with Robinho. I remember he came to my office when I signed Cristiano, and he said, Mr. President, I know I'm not going to be the star of this club. I would like to leave. So I said, okay, look, try to find a club, and of course you will be leaving. The slavery was abolished a long time ago. So you cannot have a player being in your club if he doesn't like it. So City came with a good offer. So I said, good luck in your new club, and that's it. I think with Messi, it was difficult for the president to accept that. Maybe he was mistaken, I mean the player, in the way he did it, bad advice from his father. That's happening many times because players don't rely on professionals. I'm sure with a professional agent that hadn't happened. But I suppose the father thought this is it, he's going to leave. He got an agreement with some club, they say City, I don't know, maybe City or another club. And finally, the situation hasn't been good for any of them. They are very good players, but the point now is the money. Clubs like Liverpool or the big clubs in the Premier are getting much more money than the clubs in La Liga. The TV rights, I think, are triple the ones we receive in Spain. And of course, it's the point of the player. The player must decide. It's what we were talking about before. When Cristiano came to Madrid, it's because he said, I want to leave. I want to have more challenges, and I accept that. I took advantage of that. So if those players want to leave, difficult to keep them on the team. That's the point. To know what they are feeling, what they are their ideas about their future project. Project in which we've been working, or big clubs have been working for a long time. When I was vice president at UEFA in the clubs committee, we were talking about that. It was an attractive idea about money, but at that moment in 2008, 2009, when I was there, the money never came, or the money never was guaranteed. So we decided, well, let's try to get more money from the UEFA. We did it was perfect at the time. Now, again, this is coming back. I think it's going to be a problem for football, in my opinion. If you leave the domestic competitions, the football in general is going to weaken because small clubs are not going to be able to afford keeping academies in the right way, or trying to have young players in their teams. For fans, it's going to be a problem. They are not going to see the big players, big clubs playing against them, many of them. And I find it difficult. I suppose they must work in the right way, this project. I don't say that it's not a good one. It's maybe a good idea, but it's clear that if they play this super competition, they are not going to be able to play the domestic ones. And that's, I think, is dangerous for football. The whole world has been hit by this horrible pandemic. The virus has changed the world in a shocking way, and Qatar couldn't be an exception. Of course, they've been hit, but as far as I know, through the media, through many friends I have in Qatar, they've been informing me that things are going well, that the measures have been taken in the right way and at the right time. And that's why the curve is flattened now in infections and deaths. And of course, therefore, you've been able to host different events like the AFC Champions League. The Qatar Football League has restarted, and I know other competitions with people in the stands, which is very difficult. We are not seeing that in other parts of the world. So, as I said, it's clear that measures have been taken in the right way. No doubt that 10 years ago, in December 2010, very few people thought that nowadays, 2 years to go to the kickoff of the World Cup, 90% of the works of the stadiums and also the infrastructures, roads, underground, have been done, have been finished. That means that the people from Qatar, living in a small country, in population and size, they are really big. I've always said that in creativity, determination, and in keeping its promises, and take into account that they've done that with so many problems, tackling an unfair blockade, and also this pandemic, nearly 1 year with many difficulties in order to complete the works. So I think it's amazing. Even myself, knowing the country and the people and how Hassan Al-Thawadi and Nasser Al-Khater have been working in this, well, I'm surprised that they could have done it, and everything is going to be perfect. I've always said that this is going to be the best World Cup ever. feel that most of those comments came from the envy of knowing that a very small country, 250,000 people, could have been able to organize a World Cup. Very difficult, it's true. Anyone thought, well, they are not going to be able to do it. But they've done it. And for sure, the main complaint was about the workers, the labor camps. I've visited some of them, I'm sure you have. And the problem is not in Qatar. I've always said that. The problem is in those countries where the people who come to Qatar cannot have any single job, opportunity to have a job. And when they have, they are getting $10 a day. So when they go to Qatar have taken them in, they are paying $400, $500 a month, tax-free, and also they have accommodation, they have food, they have clothes, and they have transportation. So is that right or not? Of course, everyone would like to get $1 million a year, but that's not the world. That's not the right world. And for sure now people are thinking that maybe they were mistaken knowing what Qatar has done. Maybe they don't have a high level football. That's true, but that doesn't mean that they don't like football. And if you go to Qatar when a Clásico is going to be played, the whole city is empty. Everyone is watching the matches on TV. The same with Man City or Man United. People, of course, they like football, but they haven't had the opportunity of enjoying personally, physically in the stadiums football. So I think it's a great opportunity for Qatar, for Middle East, to have a competition like this where they are going to see the best players of the world on the field. And also they are doing that in a moment where the players will be fresh, very good shape and good fit and very fit, because they will go there with 15, 16 matches at the most played in their domestic competitions. So I think it's perfect. It's going to be an intercultural meeting point where people flying from other parts of the world are going to know how the people of Qatar think, of people of the Middle East, how they behave, what are their traditions, their values, many, by the way. So perfect. I think it's been the perfect time to take the competition to a country of the Middle East. The first time in history where a World Cup is going to be played in a city, not in a country. So no flights, not only for the fans, but also for the players. They will be in the same hotel room since the day they arrive in Qatar to the day they leave. So that's going to be very important for his level on the pitch, but also for the fans. They're very cheap, and with the opportunity to attend 3 or even 4 matches in the first stages of the competition, with the distance 20, 30 minutes by underground or with wide roads and communications. I think it's fantastic. And when fans see the stadiums, they are going to be amazed because as I do, what they've done. Cutting edge stadiums with all the facilities, everything is perfect. So I think it's a great opportunity for anyone who likes football to travel to Qatar to attend this World Cup. I'm now focused on my profession. I'm a lawyer. I have a big law office in Madrid. They're working a lot now. Football, you have to devote a lot of time, and you have to abandon your family. I have now 3 grandsons. I'm enjoying a lot being with them as much as I can, playing with them, and also in my office with my wife. Difficult. I like to travel. I like to read. I like to listen music. So to be in a club like Real Madrid is really, really demanding. And also you suffer a lot. As you know, I've always said that being in that main box, when you win a match or a title, you don't feel happiness, you feel relief, because you know that no one is going to criticize you for a signing that you didn't do, or you are signing you did in the wrong way, or the coach, or everything. When the matches are won by the club, are the coach and the players the responsible. They have all the merits, which is normal. When things go bad, they look at the main box and say, you are the responsible, you are the one who really did things in the wrong way. So I cannot say no, definitely, but in theory, let's say that 90% of possibilities is that I will remain where I am as a fan, enjoying watching matches on TV or going to the stadium, and that's perfect.